Midori, I think that's her name. She's crazy. Like, oh my god. Like, she is on a whole new level of fucked. I mean, last episode was kind of fucked up, but dude, she gets a thrill from her death for hurting her own self. And the fucked up part is that it's not the essence of gambling that's getting her turned on, it's the fact that she is harming herself. That's just like on a whole new level of fucked. Midori, I think, like I said, that's her name. She's just messed up. Holy shit, she stabbed out her own fucking eye. Like, she legit stabbed her own eye. Yo, what? Oh my god. Like, okay, am I the only one that just cringed up and was like, oh god, when you saw her just stab her own eye? I know I did. I mean, scenes like that where eyeballs are getting poked or, like, fingernails are being ripped off or something, those are usually the most disturbing scenes for me in any type of show. Any form of literature, honestly, especially when I watched Higurashi. That was, oof. There were some very disturbing moments to that series. I'm not going to get into the exact details, but that series also made me kind of cringe up when I saw some certain scenes. And in this case, that happened in this week's episode of Kakegurui. You have it to where she stabs her own eyeball. And she gets a thrill. She gets a kick out of it. Oh my god. Like, I don't even know what to say. And she was willing to offer her other eye up to continue gambling. Okay, so, anyways, let's talk about the outcome. So, Yumiko, she won, which was to kind of be expected. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I highly doubt Yumiko was going to get shot or killed. And if she was going to get shot, it wasn't going to be fatal. It was nothing that was going to really affect her in the long run of the series. But at the end results, she did win. However, Yumiko had no enjoyment playing this match, which is very peculiar when you think about it. She's a type of character that obviously loves gambling. We have seen time and time again, she extremely loves gambling. Like, she loves putting everything on the line. I mean, she even gets a thrill out of when her fingernails were probably going to get ripped off. And so, when you think about pain and stuff, that's not something she's against. She's actually fine with that. She's fine with, you know, being miserable for a couple of days or even for long term if it means she can have a thrill from gambling. However, one of the big things we found about her character a couple episodes back is that she's not a big fan of gambling to when it's one-sided. For instance, like, one side, if they cheat or whatever, or if she cheats, she doesn't like it to where it's determined that she's going to win. She doesn't like, you know, results that are obvious. Like, okay, she starts a game, and she knows she's going to win. Or she knows she's automatically going to lose or something. She doesn't like that. She likes the thrill of risk. She likes it to where both sides, both parties, they both are at risk. It's not just one person, like, you know, taking all the risk. It's not one person suffering. It's both sides. And that is what Yumiko really loves. And that, once again, was reinstated with this episode. When Yumiko, the reason why she didn't like this entire gambling position was because Midori, she was someone that was stacking everything against herself. She actually wanted to take all of the risk onto herself, while Yumiko was going to get out scot-free. She wasn't really going to have to worry at all. And so that's how the results of the match turned out, and how Yumiko won. So technically, it was destined for her to win in the first place. However, she knew that, and she couldn't really do much about it. And because of the results of the other character, Midori, and how she took all the risk upon herself, Yumiko had no fun, because she didn't have anything to, you know, risk losing at all. I mean, she might have accidentally got shot or something, but overall, the way the game was designed, it was to make it to where Yumiko was going to win and be kind of scot-free. So that resulted in her not enjoying the match, and also despising the character, which is Midori, in this episode. Not because she's crazy, not because she's willing to put her life on the line, but because she is someone that wants to take everything upon herself, which, like I said, she doesn't like that. So that is what made this game very different. If both sides were at risk, and it wasn't just Midori that was at risk, I feel like Yumiko would have really enjoyed this game. She probably would have really loved this game, and she probably would have been all over it. She'd probably been as crazy and turned on just as much as Midori was when she, you know, had the possibility of being shot. So when you look at it like that, I guess you could say that Yumiko is as fucked up as she is. It's just she's at a different level of extreme. I mean, she just likes it to where everybody's at risk. So anyways, let's talk about that final scene of the episode, where we have the coin toss with the main male character and Yumiko. So Yumiko, she gets happy at the end, and she talks about how she was very happy and how, it made the previous game so much more enjoyable after the coin toss and after what he said. And my assumption of what was going on there is that with him explaining how he was kind of laying out the cards and all that, it made Yumiko realize that she was at risk the entire time. There was actually some risk that she was actually taking from the match, which in turn caused it to where it made the match a little bit more enjoyable for her, and which she was able to reflect on that and actually appreciate that gambling match she had throughout this episode. That's kind of what I got from the combo they had, when he was telling about, how he was putting his faith in her or whatever. Basically, she was risking a lot putting her faith in him because he really didn't know what to fucking do, and so she was like, oh shit, so he really didn't know. He wasn't actually trying to do anything, or she just believed in me, and so I was risking myself the entire time. So that made Yumiko actually reflect on the game and enjoy it at the end of the day. So I do like how that was done, and it does show that Yumiko does appreciate the MC's, I guess, interaction with her while he is around, and you can see how they're kind of growing closer and closer together, like bonded as friends and stuff, and how he's someone that really supports her, but at the same time, you can see how he's slowly being dragged into her antics as the series goes on. I mean, if you look at the way the episode is designed, I mean, you have to where he's the one that resulted in the fate of one of these girls getting shot, and then you also have it to where, he was someone that did a little coin toss with her at the end of the episode, and he didn't want to lose, because if he did, he wasn't going to be able to pay for the food that Yumiko was probably going to order. Knowing her, she'd probably get some very expensive food to make the risk even worse for him, and so he would have been completely fucked to be like, fuck. And so Yumiko, she had a little gambling thing with him, and she actually really enjoyed that. So, very nice episode overall, and I do like Yumiko as a character. She's fascinating, but it really makes you wonder what caused her to be like this. I mean, we found out that Midori, she is someone that really didn't know about her obsession with, gambling or taking the risk and pain. We know that she wasn't like that at first. She discovered that thanks to the student council president that made her like that. So in the way you look at this, for a fact Yumiko had to discover why she loves gambling. I can't wait for when that is finally revealed in the future. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.